Okay, welcome everybody. It is my pleasure to introduce Quinton Lewis today. He and his wife co-founded Urban Eden together as a fairly small operation, selling mainly at farmers markets across the Atlanta area. I've had the joy of using some of their soaps. They are wonderful. My personal favorites are the activated charcoal and the lemongrass and patchouli. The lemongrass one has these little poppy seeds to gently exfoliate, and it feels amazing.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in checking out their soaps or purchasing some for yourself, you can check out their website, urbaneden.com. That's HERBNEDEN.com. So I asked Quinton to join us today to discuss content marketing, which is his specialty. Like many of you, their business saw massive growth in 2020. Urban Eden now operates out of a warehouse in the Atlanta area. And I think y'all have close to like 30 employees. Is that right? Yeah, it's incredible. So Quinton, if there's time at the end, I would also love for you to share a little bit about how you scaled so quickly during the pandemic, and then also how you handled customer satisfaction when your demand outpaced your supply. So I don't know if that's woven into your presentation already, but if not, I think that'd be super interesting for people to hear. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. We're really happy to have you on. To everyone else on the call, as always, I will help moderate and unmute anyone who raises their hand. Otherwise, we'll leave a little bit of time for Q&A at the end, and I will let you take it from here.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that, Leslie. And how many people do we have on actually right now?
Sorry, I muted myself. We do have a conference room at our Atlanta location that has a handful of people, and then it looks like we have 8 attendees in addition to that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate that intro. And hello, everyone. Like she said, I am Quinton Lewis, co-founder of Urban Eden. And we're going to talk about content marketing today. That is something that I'm a big believer in content. So yeah, let's get right into it. And I do have a presentation that I kind of did do like a PowerPoint, but it's just more for kind of like just the visual, maybe I might have some links in here. I was going to give some examples of certain things when I speak about it, because I think that'll add some depth to what I'm trying to say. So I just put a little bit here, but so I'm Quinton, co-founder of Urban Eden. I've been running this business alongside my wife since 2015. Now, like I said, we're now up to about 30 employees. It kind of fluctuates a little bit. Just right now, we're starting to hire a couple more people as we get into the warmer season, starting to get busier. So before COVID, it was just literally me and her. We probably had and Leslie probably remembers that we were showing up at farmers markets. You know what I'm saying? It was just me and her. And then it probably wasn't until 2018 that we hired our first employee. And then we probably hired like maybe 2 more. So we had like 3 employees pre-COVID. Very small operation. We was operating out of our brick and mortar, which is just 1,000 square feet. We split it off. We had it where 700 square feet in the back was production, 300 square feet in the front was a retail store. We weren't doing, tons of orders and things like that. I think we were doing probably like 900 orders per month pre-COVID, nothing too serious. But during COVID, we just, we started to really grow, started really to expand. And I think the reason for that was just COVID, the support of Black businesses was really strong. And we actually paid ads. We really stuck to a budget for paid ads. So I think that was something that really contributed to a lot of the growth. So that's enough about me, and just give you a little intro of just kind of like where we are today. So now let's get into the content. And I talk to a lot of people about, business and strategy and content. And I always tell them that the answer is literally simple. Like, it's not easy, but it is simple. Like, I always ask people, how much content are you producing? Like, are you producing content? Because a lot of people I run into don't produce any content. And we live in a digital age today. We know going through COVID, the importance of having a digital footprint online is extremely important. And for you to have a digital footprint online, you have to be producing content, and you got to be producing content and a lot of it. So I just honestly just kind of highlighted just kind of like what content is. I think everybody knows what content is. Information and experiences, what I put it right here, that are directed towards an end user or audience. That was just according to Wikipedia. And the forms of content, we got written word, which is an article or a book, audio, podcasts. We got photography, and then we have the number one of them all, video. Um, those are the four main forms of content. Um, those are the things that you got to really double down on. If you feel like you're good at writing, write blog articles. Just write valuable things about your niche and all of that type of stuff. You can write ebooks. That's something that you can write, some free content for people. If you have a face for radio, no, I'm just playing. Then you can get into podcasts. That's what my mentor always talks about. He has a face for radio, so he loves podcasts. That's actually a really big popular one today. We all know about, like the Joe Budden podcast and Joe Rogan. These guys literally just sit there and they just have conversations. It's literally all it is. But they've taken an extra step by filming it. So they're killing two birds with one stone by having a show with audio, and then they're filming it at the same time. So they're distributing it on podcast platforms, and they're also distributing it like on YouTube, for video. That is an amazing form of content. That's something that I used to do a podcast, but that's something that I want to get into more in the future. That's like another, might be another evolution of my content.
Well, you've been pretty busy, so.
Oh yeah. A podcast is something that you really got to commit to. Like you really got to be, it's just like all of them. All of them really take consistency and really, take that time. But a podcast is very, very, very valuable, especially if you are building a brand and maybe you have services. That's something that could really like establish you as an expert in your field. So then we have photography. We know that photos are, Instagram. That's something that's very. I think everyone, does photography. I mean, we all need photos. A lot of us are in e-commerce, so you need product images. And making different social graphics and things. That's a no-brainer. Then we got video, which is the cream of the crop. To me, that is the one that is going to give you the most bang. It's going to give you the fastest results. I'm very video heavy. I think people can feel your energy better, just like how we're doing all right here. It's by video. I think it probably wouldn't hit the same if we were maybe just doing this by an audio, but with a video, you're able to see me, you're able to feel the energy. And that's what people can feel like, for example, a YouTube channel. If you have a YouTube channel and you're documenting your journeys and your business and everything, I think people can feel the vibe and the energy. And people buy from people that they like, know, and trust. I mean, I think we've all heard that before. So I think video is the one that is going to just give you those results that you want. If you really want to see massive growth, I think if you double down on video, that's going to be a big one.
I have a question actually. Well, it's a comment and a question. I love how y'all have the video of your story just right there on your site. It's like one of the first things people see when they go there. And it's like, really like it does everything that you just said. It makes you bought in on y'all and also know that the product is super high quality. And so that was something really interesting. I think that stuck out to me. I was curious for the photography piece, do you do your own photography? Do you hire someone? Because you have really nice product photography. And I was just curious what you would recommend for someone starting out on a budget.
Well, starting out, like all of these forms of content I did myself. I had my good old iPhone, and the iPhone takes pretty good pictures. I did things like I created my own light box. I went to YouTube, created a light box, and I took the pictures myself and, did as best edits as I could. And we kind of went through there, and that did the job, honestly. Now to this present day, and a little bit before, we hire a photographer. We have a product photographer. She takes amazing pictures, the ones that you see on the site. Today, I actually just got some. We actually are switching to boxes of our soaps. So we just switched over to that. So she just did some product photography for that. So if you guys we need a recommendation. The girl that does product photography for us, she is amazing. Um, it's an investment, but it is definitely something that you will see a return on.
Cool. Thank you. Does
No, no
anybody
problem.
else have any questions before we move on? Okay, keep on.
All right. Let me see. All right. So more content. So the name of the game is honestly volume. Like the internet is so conjumbled with so much content that for you to kind of like stick out from everyone, like I know for us, I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't know if there's another soap brand that is probably producing as much content as we are and maybe focusing on content production. I mean, I look at Dr. Squatch. I don't know if you guys know about Dr. Squatch, but they put together some pretty funny pieces of content. So I've noticed over the years that the organic reach is down. So more than ever, you got to be consistent, and you have to invest into the content production. You could do one or two things. You could produce it yourself, which is the cheapest option, but it will take time, or you can just find someone to hire. I mean, it literally just comes down to those two things. Like, do it yourself, find someone to hire. And that's first few years when we had no money, I did it myself. I'm lucky that me and my wife are partners in business. So she focused on product development. I focused on the marketing. So as she was making product and stuff like that, I would be going live and doing photos. And when we would go out on our journeys, I would be filming and things like that. And over time, as we, generated more and I really wanted to like just produce even more content because I saw that we needed even more, I hired someone. And honestly, we didn't hire anyone until about 2018. And you could find it's so many people out here that will do content for you, whether that be an intern or whether that be someone wanting to get into video. You can hire people to do one-off videos, or you want to maybe hire someone in-house. I think now we want people in-house, because you don't want to miss out on. There's so many moments that we have in business that we all just do every day. Like we all have so much content that we can capture. It's just a matter of how you want to do that. Do you want to do it yourself, or you want to hire someone? I think over time, if you are looking to scale and grow, I think you're going to want to hire someone. But for now, you can do it all yourself. But the only thing about doing it yourself, sometimes we judge it, we overthink it, we procrastinate. We're like, I don't look good in that, or I don't think I want to do this. But you kind of got to get out of your way. I know a guy I used to have as a videographer. One of the reasons why I loved working with him was he told me, stop judging my stuff. Just put it out. No one's going to remember your last post that you made. No one's going to remember the last video that you put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to just be pumping it out. And that's my mindset. It's just go, 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 go. Because there's always new things that are coming. All these brands out here are putting out so much stuff. Like, how do you get through all of this noise? So you got to be consistent. I always tell people, if you want abs, you're going to eat healthy and you're going to do sit-ups every day. It's very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And that's when it comes to this content. It's just, let's just capture something. I remember when I was filming a lot of stuff myself, I would get stumped. I'd be like, man, what am I gonna post today? But then I would just be like, what happened today? And then boom.
Yeah.
And just keep it going. And that's how our journey has been. It's just a matter of, it's honestly like we're just keeping our customers, which are our investors, up to date with everything. And that's all we're doing. We're just telling the story. And then we've evolved over time. And I'm going to get into how we've evolved in our content over time. So I was going to get into what we kind of focus on as a business for Urban Eden. So we focus on, content production. We first started off just kind of documenting everything that we do. And if you go to our YouTube channel, you will see kind of like that evolution as I'm about to break it down here, about how we just document everything. And then over time, I want to actually flip this. We've now started to add, after we did all of our documenting, and we still do documenting, we added informative videos. We have something called Urban Eden After Hours, where Taryn kind of sits in front of the camera at the store, and she kind of answers the questions that people have, like the frequently asked questions. That's what I call it. Answer your frequently asked questions on video. People always ask, I'm pretty sure you guys ask you the same questions over and over again. Why not film that question, answer it, put it on your YouTube channel, put the question as the title, and now that's just in your library of content. You can use that when someone's asking you a question, shoot them that video, post that video, use that video to run ads with, things like that. So, we've mixed in the informative videos with the documenting. Now we throw a little creative in the form of TikTok videos. My brother, he really kind of put me on. I told him to get on TikTok, and so he could learn it so that he can come back to us and help us with TikTok videos. Because I didn't have time to kind of get into that, but I believe that TikTok is a huge opportunity right now. Like humor to me is a huge thing. It breaks the ice. Mm-hmm. Everyone's just trying to be salesy, but if you can make someone laugh, that literally breaks the ice. And then you can go into what you offer and what you do and whatnot. Because if you go viral from a funny video, they're going to click on that profile and see who you are. Then they're going to click on that website, and it's just going to go from there. Now you got them in now they don't hit the pixel. Now they're in your funnel, and then it just goes from there. Now it's just a matter of the stuff down here where I talk about email. Email is a big thing for us. Email accounts for 40% of our revenues. We email several times a week, sometimes several times a day. And we're emailing things like, our promotions, of course. We're emailing blogs. We're emailing anytime we have a shipping update, if we're improving on the times, if we have a new packaging, new product. We're always just emailing. We're just communicating just all the time. We now got into SMS. We're sending out texts 4 to 6 times a month. I skipped a part right here where I talked about monthly campaigns, but right now we're trying to get ahead, like meaning we're trying to plan out our year with monthly campaigns. So something that we can kind of focus on every single month and trying to stick to that every single month. We combine all of that with paid ads. We just put money behind it. So we produce content, we distribute it, we create monthly campaigns, we email, we do SMS, and we combine all that with paid ads. We put money behind that content that we produce, and then we just kind of rinse and repeat that. It's a very simple process that we do, but the variable of this whole thing is the content production. If your content sucks, all the rest of this will kind of be hard. But again, let the audience and let the market be the judge of if your content sucks, not you, because if not, then you probably will just procrastinate and not want to put anything out. When you just jump out there. A lot of people in your niche probably, I could, like, for example, I get questions from people all the time, like, oh, hey, I'm operating out of my house. I don't really want people to see this and everything like that. I'll be like, hey, go to our channel. We documented everything when we was in our house. Like, it's just a part of it, because I knew that other people are very self-conscious of doing it. We just went on and did it. So think about if you're having apprehensions of doing it or filming or anything, do it because like everyone else isn't doing it. Everyone else is watching. Give people something to watch. Go out and get what it is that you truly want. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next one. So now I was kind of getting to the part of just examples of how we document. Now I don't know if I can like play videos on here or anything like that. I just kind of put links.
I think you can.
I probably will just click on it. So
yeah.
I kind of wanted to give people examples of how we documented our journey and kind of like things like that. So I'll start with this number 3 one, like how I filmed things. Actually, I'll just start from the top. These first 2 videos that I will play is videos that we hired a videographer to do. And this is back in 2018. Let me see if it'll come up. And I won't play the whole thing.
And action.
When we were in our house.
What's up, y'all? Come on in.
Yes, come on into the soap lab.
Boom, 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 boom. This is where it goes down. About to make some soap today. And yeah.
Just do our urban eating thing. We're gonna make some body butter.
So I just want to give you a quick example. That was just us. You literally see how we just like literally show people to our house. Like we literally let them inside. Mm-hmm. People want to know the behind the scenes and the inside. Like they really do. Like they love all of that stuff. Let them in. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it has benefited us because people have watched our journey and they grow with it. So they feel like they're supporting you, and they're going to continue to stay with you as long as you just continue to update them. It's almost like a show, like a reality TV show that you're continuing to watch every year. I think about one show. I don't know if you guys, Teen Mom. Think about Teen Mom. Like, I don't even like watch Teen Mom like that, but I know that Teen Mom's been around since I was like 16 or whatever, or in high school. But like that show is still on to this day. And the same people that were on there originally are still on there. Like the kids are now like 10, 11, 12 years old, but like people know these people and they've been following them the whole entire time. Like that was just an example that just came to my head. So let me go back to I'm gonna go to this one about I filmed with my phone, actually. Oh, ad.
I serve the Roman Empire.
We're at Home Depot because we're going to be making, or are going to attempt, we're going to make soap molds.
Taste it over it.
So yeah, we got to figure out how to make a soap mold because we have to make 4,000 soaps and we need a lot more mold. But I'm excited nonetheless. It's a challenge. It should be cool making soap molds. It should be really cool. At Home Depot, they actually cut the wood for you, so that's a plus.
So this was a moment where we used to do, Snapchat when it was Snapchat's still popular, but we used to do Snapchat stories and film with my phone. So what I would do is I would take a lot of Snapchats and I would take videos that I filmed with my phone and I put them all together for like a vlog type of experience for people. And that was, again, a form of content right there. And then I'll show you this last one. So this is how you open up a 55 gallon steel drum that doesn't have like the top that's like this, showing this turn, like the top like this. So usually they come like this with a top like this, or they'll come with a top that's completely sealed on there. So I don't know what idiots do that, but we have this giant sized, it's like a big ass can opener.
It's like a big can opener.
It just reminds you of a big can opener. And so, yeah. So I just wanted to show you guys that because that was another example of, well, what can I film? I clearly just showed us opening a drum. Like just opening a drum, like something as simple as me opening up a drum was content. And people honestly love to see that type of stuff because, I mean, you have people out there that they're probably going through the same things you're going through. So you showing that is like, wow, like they're going through the same things I'm going through, or wow, they get their raw ingredients in a drum like that. Wow, like, and they make these products or whatnot. Like that was just all of that was just an example of kind of like how we have documented in the different things. What do I have after this? So I actually, I didn't finish my presentation, honestly, but what I can do is just kind of just show you guys an example of our informative content, which I kind of went through, which was our Urban Eating After Hours.
Hey, Quinton, before you get into this, Angela, I'm going to unmute you, Angela, but her question is, how do you edit your iPhone videos, or what do you recommend doing for that?
I mean, I honestly just used iMovie on my phone. I used to do that because I'm all about quick distribution, very quick. Like you film it on your phone, go to iMovie. I never did any elaborate edits. I literally just pasted things together. Mm-hmm. I didn't get into any of that high production stuff until like years later.
Okay, and I noticed that you had about 3,000 views on just how to open that 55-gallon drum. Did you find that, or did you have any type of UTL in your that let you know where those people were coming from? Like if those people then became customers, or if those people were just looking for content on 55-gallon drums, like how do you manage, like measure that customer's path from your YouTube?
Well, honestly, for that video, again, like I was saying, I'm all about volume. So I haven't like tracked if people came from that video and became customers and things like that. I haven't. But, that was just another piece of content, honestly. It was just because I'm all about the volume. So like that might not have been the only content I probably produced that day. So I don't know if customers came from that video, honestly. Again, it was just another part of our journey of just another form of content that people probably enjoy to watch. you know, it could have led to another video that they watched, you know, because
Mhm.
you know, on our channel, that might have been they probably was looking, maybe probably could have looked for how to open a drum, and then they probably found a whole slew of videos of this black couple making soaps out of their house and grew and all that type of stuff. So
Okay.
And
And so you typically will post these videos on your YouTube and then share them from YouTube to your social media?
you know, it depends. I can actually probably pull up my YouTube channel, but like it kind of just depends. I don't what's the word I'm looking for? I don't like I will post a lot of videos on YouTube, but some I don't. Some I post maybe straight to Instagram. You know, it just depends on what the what service it you know. Like I like to post long form content to YouTube.
Hmm.
I'll post my shorter form, like maybe a minute or less, to Instagram and Facebook. But also too, sometimes I might post longer form videos to IGTV. It really kind of just depends on the context of the situation or whatnot. Like that video, that was a
Hmm.
YouTube. That one about the drum opening, that was straight for YouTube, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, because I never thought about the how-to stuff, or just, because people keep saying, get a YouTube channel, get a YouTube channel. And I have one, but I'm posting like content that is, it's not as, it's more involved. And I'm like, I don't have time to be doing all that. But if you're talking about, it makes sense now if you think about just, how to, like, we have a problem that we're trying to solve and we recorded it. Like, that's content. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
volume. Like literally do all of it. Like you can see a lot of these titles that we have here. Like right here, we did a day in the Urban Eden Skin Food Kitchen. This one was the raw truth on running a brick and mortar. Um,
Mm,
this one was rearranging and preparing our store for 2020. We showed our new soap equipment coming right here.
mhm,
Um, and again, this has evolved. Like because now if I go to the top, you just see more of our after hours videos, you know,
mhm,
and where we just kind of double down on that. A little bit before that, we were doing a little bit more vlogging right here, where we did behind the scenes of being behind in fulfillment. Because this past summer we were behind like 4 to 6 weeks of orders, so we literally
mm.
showed what that looked like. So I'm big on just you know, show what you know, you control the narrative. So you know, you control the whole thing. So show what you know what you want to show.
Okay. And can I ask one more question?
Yeah, yeah.
How did you, what was your plan to grow your Instagram, I mean, excuse me, your YouTube followers?
Honestly, our YouTube, what is it now? We're at 6.37K followers. Um, honestly, I really didn't even focus on growing it. Honestly, really, I'll tell you what kind of grew it was just we started to use Google and YouTube ads. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that it just kind of grew as we were running YouTube ads. So it kind of just
Gotcha.
grew from us running the ads. But before that, I mean, we were just growing organically. I wasn't really kind of focusing on the number of that. I was just posting my videos to YouTube and just I knew that over time these things would gain more views over time, but I wasn't really concerned with my subscribers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem.
Angela, I edit videos in QuickTime Player, so I can show you sometime this week how you can do that. And it's really nice because you can clip stuff together too.
Yeah,
Um,
I love that.
but
Thank
anyway, yeah.
you.
We have one more question, Quentin. This is from Drea.
Yeah, and we can actually start going into the questions because like yeah, the questions would be great because I was kind of finished kind of with like my examples and whatnot.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Drea, I
Hey,
think.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi. Hey, Quentin.
Hey, how are you doing?
Okay, I'm doing well, thank you. Okay, so I started a podcast. It has turned into a web series because I like the more visual experience. But with, podcasting or video podcasting, I'm not really selling a product. So the issue that I'm running into is that my engagement is very low and the following is low. And I was wondering if you had any suggestions for, I guess building that because, the only way to make, money or expand the brand with that is to, by having ads or other people coming in and paying for ads on the podcast.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So do you have any suggestions for that?
What are you talk like what is the subject that you're speaking about in like you know for your podcast and stuff?
So basically, I feature creative entrepreneurs So I do sit down interviews. I do behind the scenes footage of some of their outstanding events, and also just kind of pull up uh, at their pop up shops and do kind of like street style interview. So
How
it's
long
a
have you been?
very 1 year.
Like 1 year full straight? You've been doing it like how, like once a week?
So what I do is I'll have a season where I interview. So my first season, I interviewed. I actually started right before the quarantine happened, and I had the very first one was video podcasting, and then, after quarantine, everything was over the phone and visual, and not visual, excuse me. So I did that. I had 8 guests then, and then I got into the video and editing and doing all that stuff, which I had to learn how to do myself. So after that bulk of time, maybe a month and a half or so, I started hosting interviews for the second season. So now I have done those consistently, let's say over the past 3 months, once a weekend. So I have 13 guests now. So I have a whole bunch of content that I'm now, trying to edit and do all these things with. But just learning from the first season that I had,
Yeah.
it's like, the engagement hasn't really picked up. I haven't gotten the numbers that I need to, pitch to somebody, hey, let's run an ad,
Yeah.
one of your ads during this or whatever, so that I can continue growing.
So what is your goal with it? Like, 'cause I heard you say you don't have like a product or anything, but like, what would be like that end goal? Like, do you want to like have like this big podcast where you're interviewing the top entrepreneurs, or like what's your end goal?
So my end goal, honestly, is to get a television series. I mean, it could be a streaming series or something like that. But if you think in the mind of MTV True Life,
Yeah.
do you know how that is? So
Yeah.
you know how they have like several different, people that they're following. And it could be one person that's, let's say I'm addicted to drugs or whatever. It could be one person that's, you know, fully in addicted. It could be one person that's, in recovery, and it could be another person that's, dealing with their family and all that kind of thing. So that is the end goal. Um,
Okay.
just have something a little bit more energetic, more exciting, but
Yeah.
basically highlighting and documenting the stories of creative entrepreneurs.
Okay. I mean, what it sounds like to me, it sounds like, you know, I would say keep it going. Um, and then also it sounds like you might want to, sounds like you could go deeper. Like, for example, let's say, for example, you interviewed me, you know, and you just interviewed me. I would recommend like, well, all right, then the next one, come out to my facility, and get
Right,
behind the scenes of like what you talked about in the interview, and then go deeper.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that,
Like,
yeah, and that's kind of the steps that we're trying to take. Like I said, it's three different styles. So
yeah,
I've even gone back with, uh, several different entrepreneurs and getting behind the scenes and stuff like that. But it's, like I said, it's just so much content that I have now. I'm trying to, you know, obviously do all this on a budget because it's just me, and then hire out where I can, but it gets expensive and it's a lot, So,
yeah. I mean,
um,
I would say this, like, to me, it sounds like you said, it sounds like you're doing all the right things. It sounds like you just need to continue to just be patient and just continue to just continue to just keep doing it.
okay.
That's what it sounds like to me. Like, continue to be consistent. Like, maybe up the volume up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're doing one a week. Maybe do two a week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
then are you like taking like micro clips from from the interviews, and maybe posting them on social and and things like that? Maybe making graphics of like maybe the interview, because I look at for example, look up a page called Startup Story.
Hmm.
um I interview with them, and what they will do is they do the interview, and they'll take micro pieces of content out of the whole entire interview and post it for social. Then
Hmm.
they'll make infographics of different quotes that maybe stood out,
Hmm.
and they'll do that. um and then they don't get like the highest engagement, but I think like just continue to just hit that, like continue to just be consistent. And to me, I hate to sound like, it sounds very boring, or it sounds very like, well, that's it. But I mean, when it, like I said in the presentation, when it comes to the content, like just like with getting abs, like you got to eat healthy and do sit-ups every day. That sounds boring, but like some artists, like they probably put out songs for 5 straight years and nothing happens. And then on the 6th year, something happens. It might not be till the 3rd year, 7th month that anything even happens for you. You see what I'm saying? It's just a
Yeah,
matter of, do are you gonna be patient enough that long and, continue to put in the work while nothing is probably even happening? Because even in our business, nothing even happened over like the first year or 2 or 3. Like nothing happened. Like we just now have seen growth in our 5th year,
Yeah.
and it wasn't until we start putting paid ads behind our stuff that even things really even grew exponentially. And we really saw like the results of people maybe outside could look in and be like, okay, they look successful. You see what I'm saying?
right. And speaking of paid ads, would you suggest paid ads for engagement
I mean,
and
I would say
following?
if you have the money for it, if you have the budget for it, then yeah, I definitely do. Because I mean, the organic reach is down on all these platforms. They literally want you to pay money today. And the cost per acquisition is rising every month. It's literally rising. Like the same the same amount of spend that I spent last year, I'm not getting the same results this year. I got to spend more. So it's getting more competitive. People, we're in this like we're still in COVID, but we're kind of like in this post-COVID world where everybody's on this digital thing. Everybody's starting podcasts. You know what I'm saying? So for you to stand out, like, consistency, maybe, humor. And I mean, I even heard Gary Vee say it, like he even said, he's like, you got to be entertaining, you got to be good, and
Right.
just be patient and continue with this, just continue to grind it out.
Thank you, Quentin.
No problem, Drea.
Does anybody else have any questions? I have a few if no one
Yeah.
else does.
Yeah. Could I stop sharing the screen or no?
Sure.
Okay.
The thing is for webinars, you won't be able to see any of the other attendees. So it's kind of a weird dynamic where it's like they can see you, but you can't see them. It's kind of like a Clubhouse thing.
Oh no, it's cool.
Vibe. Yeah.
I'll keep it up because I might show an example or something.
Yeah. I think that would actually be nice to be able to navigate through these. Is that you in the shower?
Where is that? Oh, okay. So I will show you guys this one. This is actually another evolution of our content where we're getting more creative and we're, humor. So I'll show this one. This is my brother. Well, this is our ad right here that's coming up too.
We grew up on a lot of these big brands that.
Dos Equis.
In the midst of a pandemic, he is the cure. People send their stimulus checks to him. He is the cleanest man in the world.
I always use natural soap, and when I do, I prefer Urban Eden. Stay clean, my friend.
Love it.
Yeah, that's another part of our evolution of content, of just getting that more funny, humorous, and we will run ads on that. We will run ads on that as well.
So for YouTube, like, does YouTube cost anything to just upload content like this? Or is this portion of it free?
Oh yeah, this portion of it's free. This is just our YouTube channel. We upload this stuff, this is free. But
nice.
Like when you saw me play that video and you saw our ad come up before the video,
right?
That's a paid ad. That's, we run that. And I don't know if you guys run YouTube ads but YouTube is all ran through Google. Google owns YouTube. So
right.
And I actually see good results with the YouTube ads.
Yeah. I love how you've really just like encouraged the story and telling the story, and you can really see, the progression. And I think it gives people a glimpse into where you started. It's like super inspirational too.
Thank you.
So obviously anyone on the call, if you want to go back to marketing stuff, like happy to do that. But I just was kind of curious if you could talk through, you mentioned earlier, like having, having some issues with your supply and being able to ship out to your customers. And you did some videos around that.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked about controlling the narrative. Can you get a little more insight into what that was like for y'all? And do you think the slow like do you think it was a product of COVID, or do you think that was just a product of your growth? Or can you just kind of talk through what that season looked like for y'all?
Yeah. And guys, what I'm about to speak about, speaking about the last year with our fulfillment and everything. So these two videos right here in the middle, it says dealing with order fulfillment, and this one behind the scenes of being behind the fulfillment. Those are videos that you guys can check out of us kind of like behind the scenes of all of that. But I think the growth really just kind of came from, like I was saying earlier, COVID, people being at home. I think everybody saw a spike because of that. And then the George Floyd killing, supported Black businesses, that boom. But then the paid ads, that was our first year of ever putting together a budget towards paid ads. And we incrementally increased it every single month. And in the middle of that.
Question on that real quick. Yeah. What percentage of sales do you budget for ads? Angela is asking in the chat.
Yeah. So, I mean, the rule of thumb in marketing is literally like, I think up to 30%. I think last year we was between 10 and 20%. So, so like, for example, if you in a month, if you do $10,000 in a month, I mean, and if I was looking at your numbers, I would hopefully expect to see you spend at least, $800 to $1,000 on paid ads or whatnot, if not up to $2,000. So that's kind of that rule of thumb, 10, 20, 30% in between there. I've even heard Gary Vee say you can spend as much as possible, as much as you can, but there has to be some sort of paid in it, because the organic is, yes, you still need to do your organic thing, but also you have to put some sort of budget to it. It's almost like, it's like rent on the internet, almost like you have to spend something on it, on marketing. But back to just the growth and whatnot, and just kind of dealing with the fulfillment and handling all of that. I mean, it was a challenge. Like, it was extreme challenge. I think the thing that really helped us was we would do something. I heard a term called real-time marketing, where we would literally shoot a video. I would be like, hey, Taryn, let's shoot this video right now. She would be in front of a soap rack. And we would specifically tell them that, hey guys, we are behind in orders this much. We are 4 to 6 weeks behind. The reason why is because we are in this small space. We don't have a lot of space. We're growing exponentially fast. This is our team. This is our process. We hand make all of these things. Like, we showed them all of that. And it was times where I was trying to stop orders, like by just pushing the fulfillment out. That's what I was doing. I kept trying to just push fulfillment out because I didn't want to shut the store down. Because as you know, with the business, we all have expenses. Those expenses don't stop. So I couldn't just shut down the store or anything. That's why I pushed out my fulfillment. And I'm a person, some people might not agree, I don't put sold out on my products because we make all of our products. So we can fulfill it all. You know what I'm saying? I just pushed out the fulfillment. But like I said, we were doing real-time videos just explaining the delays. And then we would run ads on those. We were running retargeting ads to all of our customers. Just telling them, like, and people would see that. Of course, we would get negative comments in there, like, you guys are taking forever. Then we would have, I think the thing that helped us was that we would have customers that would come in the comments, getting on those people making negative comments, like, hey, it's worth the wait. Hey, they've never dealt with this before. Hey, the logistics industry.
True advocate right there.
Yes, we had advocates. We had our own advocates from our customers that were, defending us. Other times too, you kind of have to ignore those things too. Like, a part of you have to kind of like be unemotional to it. I mean, people are just going to be people. I think another thing that helped is that I got the customer service kind of stuff out of my hands. So I hired someone that can kind of take that was kind of like on the front lines, answering emails and answering phone calls, so that me and Taryn weren't like looking at the emails and things like that. Because you can get very discouraged on a Sunday morning, waking up and seeing a nasty email from a customer that throw your whole day off. So we kind of separate ourselves from that. And that helped out tremendously for the mental, because the mental was very taxing, very, very taxing. But I think the way we got through it was we knew that, for example, if we were getting 300 orders a day in, then we knew that we had to outwork the deficit. So pretty much if we were getting 300 orders a day, we need to be putting out 500 to 600 orders a day. At one point, we were behind 6,000 to 7,000 orders. So we were like, honestly, I told my team, just do what you can do every day. There's nothing
Yeah.
that you can do. Like, just fulfill what we can fulfill. And every day we were inching in on that. It wasn't, this was started in the summer, and it wasn't until probably the top of this year that we got to a manageable fulfillment time of like 3 to 5, 5 to 7 business days, you know? So again, it's not easy. It's it's very hard. But I think you have to be transparent with your customers. You got to communicate with them. Let them know via email about every little shipping update. That's what we did. We sent emails out saying, "Hey, we were at 4 to 6 weeks. Now we're at 3 to 4 weeks fulfillment. Now we're
Mhm.
at 2 to 3 weeks." So we were constantly sending updates. We were over communicating. Sometimes people would get annoyed by that, but I think for the majority of people, they really appreciated that, because a lot of big companies are not going to tell you when they're not going to tell you, like, you're just going to order from them and you'll get your order in 3 months. They're not even going to tell you they're behind. We were
Yep.
trying to just be very, very transparent and communicate everything.
Yeah, I love it. And I think too, it gives you another avenue from even just more content. So it's just like, it's like this, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of this like big loop.
Absolutely.
What you kind of touched a little bit on this earlier, but curious how you made the decision to start outsourcing your content, and what do you take into consideration what did you take into consideration?
So I guess we kind of do outsource our content. So I mean, so I'll say that we do like hire videographers to come in and film it, but we're still like involved with the creative of it. So we're just like
Yeah.
telling them, like, you come in and you film this. Um, as far as like for me, I think that since I was like, I was doing too much, for me. So I needed a person to come in to help me to film some of this content, and I don't like editing. I think there was an evolution of our content where I wanted more I wanted more higher production. So I kind of wanted to like go from my phone videos to like more highly produced things. So that was one of the reasons why I think for the future that I do want to create like this in-house media team. Though I think that is something that I do want to do. Um, I do struggle with working with a lot of with creatives and things, because the thing that I struggle with them is like, excuse me, is like, I don't know if a creative, like a videographer or whatever, like, do you want a whole bunch of clients, or do you want a client that's going to be consistent, that invests into content production every single month?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to find that person that doesn't want to and I'm not trying to like be a crab and tell them that you can't get a lot of clients, but there's just so many moments that can be shot throughout the day. Like, it
Yeah.
could literally be a full-time job for you to just be working with this company. So I think my next step is to hire an in-house videographer to be with us honestly every day, instead of me having to set up appointments with videographers to come out and things. Um, right now we have, my brother films for us, so he films our after hours videos, and he might film a lot of our TikTok stuff, and then I'll still pop up my phone from time to time and shoot some stuff. So I don't have a problem with even doing that. And then if we want something that's more highly produced, then I'll hire another videographer that will come in, and maybe, like, for example, our brand story video that's right here, like this video, I highly recommend everyone get a brand story video shot. Like,
Yeah.
that's something that should be on your website, your YouTube channel, run ads behind it, because it's all about getting first time customers. And then once you get them, you want to retain those customers.
For sure. Do y'all still have your brick and mortar store, or is it all online now?
So yeah, so right now where I'm at, I'm in the office of the warehouse. So that brick and mortar, pretty much we moved production to the warehouse, and then we renovated it and turned it into a full-on experiential store.
Oh, cool.
So we have the warehouse, and we actually just acquired another warehouse right next door to it. So now we have like 9,000 square feet of warehouse, and then we have the 1,000 square foot brick and mortar. So our brick and mortar, our retail store, it only accounts for like 5% of our revenue. So it's not like, it's still good, but it takes care of it. It takes care of itself. Like,
Yeah.
if it was to go out of business, if our store was to burn down today, like, I wouldn't trip or whatnot. It's something for the community, something for the local residents. People can order online, do pickups. So that's how I kind of look at the retail store.
Have your sales grown to where you have like customers all over the US?
Yeah, yes, we do. We have tens of thousands of customers. We ship to all 50 states.
Wow.
We don't do like
Congratulations. That's incredible.
Thank you. We don't ship to like too many international. I think it's kind of expensive shipping for them.
Mhm.
But yeah, we actually have no wholesale. We do no wholesale. We only do all direct to consumer.
Do you think you would ever look into doing wholesale?
I think that's something that we have to iron out our production. We have to continue to scale out our production.
Karen talks a lot about like the quality and making sure that she's always looking for new formulas and, you know, staying on top of that piece. And I think that gets really difficult when you start getting into the wholesale piece.
No, you're right. You're right. That's our bottleneck right now is our production. We have to, because we make everything by hand still. I mean, we have like oil tanks and we have gotten better. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like every time we get better, like the marketing is outperforming everything else in our business, which I say was a good problem to have.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
So like there are times when even last year, like I wanted to cut off ads, but I didn't. I just kept it going. But we might entertain wholesale. I think for us, I think the thing that we might look at is something like a Target or something like that in the future. But we just have to get that production, you know, all the way down.
Is the production team like Quinton, like give us a break over here?
I mean, nah, they're not really
No.
like that. I mean, we have a lot more room to continue to scale it out. Like, because we're still learning. We're still trying to just figure out like storage of materials. That's the reason why we need another warehouse, because you know we're able to order way more material than we've ever been. So we're getting like good discounts on things now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, shameless plug. If you ever need any warehouse space, we know some people that
absolutely
that do that.
Yeah, material. That's a big one.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much again. This was super interesting. You're a big inspiration. And I know a lot of people in Atlanta look to y'all, and just thank you. And if anyone else has any questions, I'll send out Quinton's info, or you can find him on Instagram as well.
Absolutely.
All righty. Take care. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks so much, Leslie. You guys have a good one.